So thank you, thank you. And for me, Christmas is a season of wonder and awe. And there have been many, many times in my life where Christmas was not a happy Christmas. And maybe some of you have experienced that too. I want to share today a little bit about that faith and hope subject. Here we are. And what is faith as we talk about it in unity? Different than faith in a God above or asking for permission. It's more about a consciousness. I'm first going to tell you a personal story. It's very tender. When I was young, long time ago, I was very tiny, very tiny. And 5 years old, we moved into a new house. It was a very wonderful thing. My father had gotten a loan for being a soldier. And I had my own room, and my mom painted gray blue. And she took a plate and made a scalloped headboard. And then she drew lines, and she wrote the prayer, "Now I lay me down to sleep." Anyone know the next line? So I slept with that every night. And next to me was a table with a lamp, and then I had a picture of Jesus. Now, Jesus wasn't up here. Jesus was right near me, and it was the picture of Jesus at the door. Does anyone remember that picture? And the light next to it. And I loved that picture. And I loved Jesus. And I talked to Jesus every night. Now, I want you to know, as I was saying, as there was a lot of drama in my house. There was a lot of anger. There was some hitting. It was not peaceful. And then there were times where it was sweet. So I had a lot to talk about to Jesus. And Jesus listened. Novel concept in my house. And sometimes I felt like Jesus was sitting on the corner of my little twin bed. Well, my mother heard me in there talking. Finally, one day she came in and said, "Who are you talking to?" I said, "I'm talking to Jesus." She went, "Okay." And I just kept talking. And a couple months later, she came in. "Are you still?" "Yes, I'm still talking to Jesus. Sometimes he sits on the corner of my bed." "Really?" So she went to our minister, Pastor Lambert. "Vicky," now don't ever say that. "Vicky." That was then, this is now. "Vicky is talking to Jesus." "Really?" "Yes, and she thinks he sits on the corner of her bed." He said, "Mrs. Kraft, maybe he does." She didn't know what to say. Now, she never told me till I was in my 20s that she had talked to Pastor Lambert. Now, eventually, I got older, my room got painted, the picture of Jesus moved on, but I have a connection with Jesus in a different way. I felt he was my brother. I had no sense of he was more or less. He was my brother. He was my comforter. He was my listener. We were buddies. That's the only way I've ever thought of Jesus, and that's still the way I feel. Now, I may not have talked about that because it's very personal to me. Very personal. Now, I went on to go to confirmation, and at the end of confirmation, you had to write a paper. Now, it had to be a 5-page paper. Now, by this time, I had asked my mom to take me to a Hindu temple. So I was in a little situation. But I still talked to Jesus. That didn't get in my way. And when I got to the Hindu temple, there was a picture of Jesus hanging in the guru's office. And the day I was there, he talked about the prodigal son from the Bible. So I couldn't see any reason not to think that it was all working together. as I started to try and write this paper, I could not put into words the feeling I had. And finally, the assistant pastor called me in. Here's that word again, Vicky. Vicky, why haven't you turned your paper in? I can't put into words what I feel. Gave me an A anyway and patted me on the head. I got to wear the white dress and say all the things. In the end, I began to understand as I got older and older that my relationship with Jesus is a mystical experience. It's really not about a person. It's a connection. It's a very deep connection and what we in Unity call Christ consciousness. Now, I had not really at that time in my life as I was growing, my great-grandmother was in Unity and she would teach me things, but Christ consciousness, I hadn't really experienced or known that I had. And it became, as I got older and older and I opened that book that changed my life, Discover the Power Within You, that book described to me my relationship, and everything changed. I get chills when I talk about it. Now, the last time I talked about that book, I swore I had it in my library and I couldn't find it. I was in my office. See the hand on the hip? I was in my office yesterday and I said, I know it's here. I'm opening cabinets. I'm looking this way. Eventually, I looked to the top shelf in this bookcase. Now, the Discover the Power name is worn off. I have used it so many times. There it was at the top, and I took it to bed with me. I love that book. It changed my life. So as we look at the mystical consciousness, the Christ consciousness, we can use different words for it. It's a relationship, definitely, but it's a relationship. I use the word. It's more than humanity. It's cosmic. It is. It just is. So I was looking up, how do I live this consciousness? I was looking up the word faith, and I've always loved the way Charles Fillmore talks about faith. So I wanted to share this with you. Charles Fillmore wrote that faith is, some of you might be able to say this by rote, the perceiving power of the mind, linked with the power to shape substance. Now, we often forget that. We have the power to shape substance. That means our dreams. That means our ideas. That means our desires. We have the power to shape substance. We're just not on this planet willy-nilly. We're just not living day to day. We have the power. You, me, they, them, everyone has the power. I heard a over here. Faith sees ideas where fear sees disbelief. Faith sees opportunities where fear sees obstacles. Faith sees potential where fear sees problems. Faith sees abundance where fear sees lack and limitation. I want an amen for that. Amen. Faith allows us to work with God's omnipresent substance, infinite possibilities, and shape it into a manifestation of good we can understand and use in our lives. So that faith is not passive. Faith is movement, and we have to be part of that movement. It's not we just push a button and, faith comes down. Or it's not just, I have faith. And we have to change our mindset. We have to change the way we see, we vision, and what we believe. Faith links the mind with possibilities, not fear. How many of you have ever linked your mind to fear? Did it get you anywhere? It might have brought you here. Fear and faith. I used to call it the seesaw of life. Anyone been on the seesaw of life? I have. I've been way down, and I've been really up where it's scary. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can co-create with God. And then anyone go back down? And then here we are. It's a seesaw of life. What would it be like if we lived in the state of faith? The state of possibilities, the energy field, the cosmic Christ. We can call it innumerable things. It's faith. It was ancient and it's current. We have the power to move, they say, mountains. I haven't worked on that yet. But there are many things in my life that faith totally changed the outcome. How many of that happened? Everyone in this room, of course. And if not, it's on its way. I'm just going to say that one more time. Charles Fillmore wrote that faith is the perceiving power of the mind linked to the power to shape substance. We are co-creators. Now, sometimes we like to say, I don't know how. Anyone ever say, I don't know? I don't know how to do that. Anyone ever say that? I don't know how. It's innate. It's innate. You ask. You ask to the universal presence. That's one phrase I like to use. Christ consciousness. We can say the indwelling spirit. There's so many ways we can phrase it or say it. And I always say it's without words, actually. There's no word to describe it. There isn't a language that really can speak of the depth of what we are talking about. The only way is to experience it. And we've experienced it in small things and big things. Now, one of my dear compatriots, Unity ministers, her name is Darlene Strickland, and she's the Unity minister in North Carolina. And she has a thriving ministry. I am telling you, huge. And I had the opportunity to go there with Arun Gandhi. And we had an incredible time, and they were raising funds to expand their building. And I guess that was about five years ago. Arun was close, getting to the end of his traveling. And we just had an incredible experience there. They have property, and they work with their local Buddhist community. And they have a lot, acres and acres like you do. They have one area that is kind of not marshy, but damp. And the Buddhists came to them and said, we are looking for a place to have a memory garden where we can create and bury ashes. We would like to purchase that from you. So on the Unity property is this beautiful area where the Buddhist tradition is honored. Isn't that incredible? Now, years ago, we might have scratched our head and said, What? Why would you do that? Because we're one. We are one. We all grieve our loved ones, and we want it to be in a beautiful place, and a place where spirit is, and that ground is blessed. I just love the way the world moves. So this is what Reverend Darlene Strickland put on Facebook yesterday, and I just wanted to share it with you. She said, does the world transform because a single Savior appears on the scene? Does your life truly change because someone else fixes you, rescues you, or cleans you up? A great teacher can point the way. A great exemplar can demonstrate potential, but only you can walk it and live into a particular way of being. And like I said to you, I have a relationship with Jesus in comforting, and as I grew, I realized that was within me. Only you can choose to live from the inner architect Christ nature of peace, love, and divine presence. The world changes and life changes when awakened beings start living as if they are the very temples and conduits of the divine. Your worship is between you and your God. None of my business. I love that. None of my business. But your actions, my actions, our actions do impact each other. Actions show our true colors and the future natural byproducts of our consciousness. So, does this diminish Jesus? You decide. As for me, I believe the highest way to honor his life is to actually believe him, and then become the kind of being he said we could be, like him. The Creator didn't place divine potentiality only in one being. It is within every one of us. Jesus showed us the light, but he never asked us to stay in the audience. I read that line 10 times. Never said stay in the audience. Get up. Get to work. To do even greater things than he, because spiritual growth is like a gym membership. Nobody else can do it for you. You have to do your own sit-ups. The Lord knows we've tried to get someone else to do it. So what does that say to you? Are you in the audience? Are you a spectator? Are you living a life of love? Are you living a life of forgiveness? Are you living a life of joy? And I would say that's why we're sitting here. We can say yes to that. Yes, we are. And how do we make that even bigger? How do we share that? Through teddy bears, through food, through gifts. And we can do that in our consciousness. We can send that across the world. We can use our mind and our heart and our energy to spread it, to share it, and more importantly, be it. Most importantly, walk it. Walk it. There's an old saying about what side of the road do you walk on. So we're going to move into meditation now. Faith. I am filled with faith today. I am filled in faith, with faith in you, in me. I'm willing. I'm willing to live the truth. I am more than you can see. And we are more than anyone can see, because there is an inner, whatever we call it, mystical energy that empowers each one of us when we access it, when we go there, when we remember, when we turn the switch on. And Christmas is the perfect time to remember. I am. Jesus said, I am. I am the light, the way. And he also said, you are the light. And we have an opportunity, even thousands of years later, to be the light. To be Christ consciousness, sitting in our chair, sending blessings, holding the energy of peace. Even when the appearance is otherwise. We're going to move into a silent time now. Oh, when you feel that precious connection in the way that you do with the divine presence in you. The other word that goes with our Advent candle today, our Advent honoring, is hope. Hope. Are we willing to be the hope of our world? What does that mean to you? If you were to be the hope of the world, just one little light, one idea, one manifestation, one energy, how do you bring it into existence? Manifestation. Only the divine in you can lead you, show you, remind you. I just invite you to use these words quietly to yourself. I am. I am more than I can see. I am one with the divine. Breathing in and out. I am willing to move from being an audience member to a participant. Just let your mind open to the possibilities of what is yours to do. And that will evolve over the next few days and weeks and months. And you'll get an aha or a dream, or someone will say something to you. You'll read something and go, oh, that's what Victoria was talking about. Oh, we give thanks for each other, for unity, for this space in time where we remembered together. And so it is. And so it is. Opening your eyes when you're ready.